It's all in your mind. The thoughts you hold there will shape your life. If you keep believing and acting the way you always have, you'll keep getting the same results. But if you want something different, in your life or your work, you just have to change your mind. The one thing you have complete control over is your thoughts. To change your life, you have to change the thoughts that come before your actions. Our beliefs act like a filter, screening out anything that doesn't fit our worldview. But when we change our beliefs, we start to change our reality. Discipline is boring. Hard work is boring. Doing the same thing every day is boring. But boredom is where success is born. So, for now, be the boring friend. There is no instruction manual for the human brain. We often feel like the challenges we face are a personal curse. We ask, why me? But when you talk to other people, you realize that many feel the same way. Your unique struggles are not so unique after all. Knowing this makes you feel less alone, less broken. The journey won't get harder. This is the hardest part. If you can make it through this, everything else will feel like you're going downhill. The challenges you face will get bigger, but you will become so much better at overcoming them. No matter what happens, you have to keep going. Nothing is permanent. You can have a streak of bad luck, but it will eventually turn around once you truly understand the game. So much opportunity exists on the other side of persistence. The longer you can stay on the right path without immediate positive feedback, the easier the opportunities become, because so few people are willing to do the same. Embrace the boring life. Prioritize your progress. Stick to your training. Go to bed early. Stay focused. This kind of life might not feel exciting, but this is the discipline that leads to lasting success. The boring path is where winners are made. Life rewards action, not intelligence. One of the biggest dangers for smart people is that the smarter you are, the better your excuses become. You get really good at talking yourself out of taking action, convincing yourself that every step you could take is too small or meaningless. George Leonard, who introduced jiu-jitsu to the U.S., once said, "You cannot do everything, but you can do one thing and another and another." That is how you make massive progress in life. Just showing up and trying, week after week, month after month, year after year, will make you better and better. It's so easy to talk yourself out of action, but remember, life rewards what you do, not what you know. Every day you get to make a choice. You can keep doing what you've always done and complain about how unfair life is. Or you can let go of what's holding you back, focus on what you can control, and choose the path of growth. It's a choice between feeling beaten by circumstances and saying to yourself, "Enough is enough. I will no longer be this person." It's a choice to say goodbye to the ordinary and taste the extraordinary. It's a commitment to be someone better, starting right now. Some of us let pain become our tombstone. Others let it become a scar that reminds us of a life of reward. So, as you look at your options in life, doctor, lawyer, teacher, president, do me a favor, check yourself first. Look in the mirror and say, "I am my lottery ticket. I am my way out. I am the one who will break this curse." The day you stop blaming your parents, your circumstances, or society is the day you start to change. If the path you're on feels lonely, take it as a sign you're headed in the right direction. So many people aren't willing to endure the struggle that comes with success. But you are, and that tells you exactly where you're headed, straight for everything you've ever wanted. You knew it was going to be difficult, so don't be surprised now. Everything is going exactly as it should. Success is the only revenge. As you grow, others shrink into irrelevance. As you become louder, no one can hear them. You don't beat them. You cast a shadow so big they can't even be seen. When people copy, they copy the wrong things because they don't understand the original purpose. So when something breaks, they don't know how to fix it because they didn't build it. Don't sweat it. Copycats will always be behind. I'd rather go too far than not far enough. The only reward you get from taking it easy is the fact that, in that moment, it's easier. But if you truly want results and you catch yourself slacking off without doing anything about it, then maybe you don't want those results as much as you think you do. If I've learned anything from life, it's that sometimes the darkest times can lead us to the brightest places. The toughest lessons teach us the most important things. The most painful struggles grant us the most necessary growth. In times like these, it helps to remember, there have always been times like these. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. It is not anyone's job to make you feel good, solve your problems, or make you happy. That's on you. You're in your current situation because of the decisions you made and the actions you took. If you convince yourself that it's everyone else's fault that you're miserable, your life will be a lie, and you will be stuck in that misery forever. If you truly want to free yourself, blame yourself. Because if you have the power to mess up your entire life, you also have the power to fix it. The longest journey you'll ever make is the inches from your head to your heart. It's never an easy journey, but it is the most important. You have to find the courage to build a life around what matters most to you. There are pivotal moments in our lives that can push us into an entirely new story with no turning back. What if that moment for you is today? You might be at rock bottom, feeling like you've completely lost control. The world seems to be caving in, and nothing you do helps. Stop running from it. Accept it. There is a mountain whose peak is so tall it's hidden in the clouds. Look at it. Embrace the shadow it casts. That mountain is no foreign entity. It is you. You are the mountain. Today, you stop cowering from your own potential. There's a difference between feeling sad and being sad, between feeling angry and being angry. You can feel angry and sad all you want, but don't be sad. Don't be angry. That's what strength is. You can cry and be sad, but doing what you're supposed to do despite that feeling, that's mental toughness. If you can master that, you can master anything. I feel stuck. I really thought I would have left my mark by now, found my purpose. Instead, I've just wasted so much time. Time hasn't been wasted. It has been your silent sculptor, shaping you in ways you can't see yet. A lot of you guys think being great is a choice. It's not. It's an obligation. You don't just owe it to yourself. You owe it to everyone who has believed in you and sacrificed for your success. The day you were born, you signed a contract. Do right by others. Do right by yourself. Do right by God. And you will be filled with joy. I believe in you, and so do all these other people. It's time for you to believe in yourself. You owe it to yourself, big dog. It's snowing this morning. It feels like 14 degrees. My ears hurt. My hands are burning. I do 3 minutes in an ice bath before every morning run, and I don't want to be here. But if I let my environment dictate whether I show up, my life will be a product of circumstance. That is a pitiful existence. All anyone really wants is a little certainty, but almost no one is willing to offer it to themselves. The world will do everything it can to keep you from showing up, but if you find a way to show up every single time, your life will be very different. You get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. People look at Steph Curry making a three-pointer from half-court and turning away before it even goes in, and they think he's unbelievable. But they don't pay attention to his private practice. He shoots 500 shots a day, every single day, for over 15 years. That's 2.52 million shots in his career. The public sees the result, but they don't see the work. A strategy is like a freeway. It allows us to get to our destination as quickly as possible. But every time we take an exit, we get lost. We end up farther away from our dreams than when we started. The dream requires thousands of steps in the right direction. You have to train yourself to be resilient, to have fortitude and grit. You have to learn to listen to your boss voice, not your inner voice, and do the things you know will move you forward, even when you don't feel like it. If you can do that, it will become easier. It won't actually be easier. You will just be stronger. This is your one shot at life. How you spend your time is up to you. Nobody is going to tell you what to do. So if there's something you've always wanted to do but haven't because you're afraid of failing, this is your chance to face that fear head-on and do it anyway. You might not get there, but at least you tried. And if you truly give it your all, 9 times out of 10, you will succeed because you never gave up. You worked on it every single day. You gave yourself the chance to achieve that dream. Imagine a life where you achieve your goals instead of scrolling on social media all day. Imagine a life where you work on your dreams every day and one day you actually get there. Use that feeling as motivation. Every day will be tough, but the more consistent you are, the more you work towards that dream, the more you will get there. It will take time, but you will get there because you never gave up. You can't see the proper light if you have never been in the deepest dark. I heard you say, "There's only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my sufferings." What does that mean? It's about how you handle your suffering. When you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up? Do you become a victim who complains and wallows in misery? Or do you find meaning in how you handle the suffering? By finding meaning, you become worthy of that pain. There are things you can't control, but you can always control how you respond. How can you take your power back and find meaning in what feels powerless? You are literally torturing yourself because of mistakes you made in the past. You are not that person anymore. You can't keep trying to make things right by doing what feels wrong. You know that wasn't the way. Please stop hurting yourself and the people around you. This isn't you. You are so much wiser and smarter than this. The right decisions don't come from pain. There's a part of me that sometimes doesn't want to be hopeful. I don't want to be down there by the hope pond, putting hope on my hook and just hoping I catch something. It's hard to be hopeful if you feel like life has burned you, if the past wasn't what you thought it was supposed to be. I didn't want to be hopeful because if I admitted that I was willing to have hope, it meant I wasn't willing to hold a grudge anymore. It's hard to let go of those past hurts because they give you a certain kind of power. But man, if you can let go and reach for the hope that things could be different. If you ask for a lot, it's only fair that you expect to go through a lot. You can't ask for hard things and then expect an easy life. Some days will be hard. Some days you will be tired. Some days you will question and doubt yourself. But just remember you had a vision, and this is what it takes to turn it into a reality. You have to decide if you are down for that ride. You feel like you're missing out on all the fun. Me too. Everyone else has more friends. Everyone else does fun stuff on the weekends. Everyone else gets all the attention. We feel like we're missing out on a lot. But we're also missing out on the endless search for acceptance from an empty source. We're missing out on the constant need to hide who we really are. We're missing out on acting like everything is okay and then shutting down when the crowd is gone. So yeah, we're missing out, but I think that's just fine for now. Procrastination is a thief. It steals your dreams, your time, and your potential. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you let another piece of your future slip away. It feels harmless, just a small delay, but those moments add up, turning days into years and dreams into regrets. Procrastination is a slow poison. It won't destroy you all at once, but it will eventually. Act now before tomorrow becomes a memory of what could have been. On the days when I didn't want to go, or I was tired or sore, I still went. Even if I only got 10, 20, or 30% out of that day, it was better than getting 0. I was always taking steps forward. That's why everything worked out. I can guarantee there were probably 100 days when I didn't want to do anything, when I just wanted to stay in bed. But those were the days you have to get up and do something. That's what separates the good from the great. The great do things even when they don't want to. Convince yourself that you can make it happen, even when the odds are stacked against you and the path is unclear. Believe in your vision. Believe that nothing can break you. Because that's what it takes. An unbreakable belief that no matter what, you'll figure it out. The alternative is where failure lives. Doubt and hesitation are the quickest paths to self-sabotage. You don't need a cheering section behind you. What you need is to trust that you have everything inside of you to win. When you commit to that level of belief, sooner or later, it will all fall into place. Greatness isn't built on the days you feel good. It's not built on motivation, bursts of inspiration, or fleeting moments of clarity. Greatness is built in the quiet, unremarkable moments. The ones where no one is watching, where no one is clapping, where no one even knows you're putting in the work. Anyone can show up when they feel like it, when the energy is there, when the stars align, when the path feels easy. But what separates those who achieve extraordinary things from those who don't is the ability to show up when it's hard. When you're tired, frustrated, and discouraged. When you'd rather do anything else than take that next step. That's when greatness is built. Not in the moments when it's easy, but in the moments when it's not. Motivation is a myth. It's unreliable. It comes and goes. One day you wake up ready to take on the world, and the next you can't even get out of bed. If you wait for motivation to show up, you'll spend your entire life waiting. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. Discipline shows up anyway. Discipline says, I'm here to do the work no matter what. When you commit to showing up even when you don't feel like it, something incredible happens. You build momentum. You prove to yourself over and over again that you can keep going even when it's hard. And that momentum, that's where transformation happens. Consistency is the secret to greatness. It's not about the big dramatic moments. It's about the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make every single day. A single workout won't change your body, but showing up at the gym consistently will. Writing one page won't make you an author, but writing every day will. Taking one step won't get you to the finish line, but taking a step every day will. Consistency compounds. It's the foundation on which everything else is built. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't the ones who work hard when they feel like it. They're the ones who work hard every day, regardless of how they feel. The first step to building discipline is to make showing up non-negotiable. It's not about whether you feel like it or if the conditions are perfect. It's about committing to the process no matter what. Set a standard for yourself. Maybe it's writing 500 words a day. Maybe it's going to the gym 3 times a week. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes meditating every morning. Whatever it is, make the commitment and then honor it. When you make showing up a non-negotiable part of your life, you take the decision-making out of the equation. It's no longer about whether you want to. It's about the fact that you said you would. One of the biggest mistakes people make is focusing too much on the outcome. When the results don't come as quickly as they'd like, they lose motivation and give up. The key to consistency is to fall in love with the process, not the result. Show up because it's who you are, not because of what you hope to achieve. Show up because you value growth, commitment, and keeping the promises you make to yourself. The results will come, but they're a byproduct of the process, not the other way around. Discipline doesn't mean doing everything all at once. It means starting where you are with what you have and taking the smallest step forward. If you're struggling to show up, shrink the task. Can't write a chapter? Write a sentence. Can't do an hour-long workout? Do 10 minutes. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And every small step you take is a step closer to where you want to be. Discipline thrives on structure. When you have a routine, showing up becomes automatic. You don't have to think about it or argue with yourself. You just do it. Make it a part of your day, like brushing your teeth or eating lunch. The more consistent you are, the more ingrained the habit becomes. Discipline is what turns dreams into reality. It's what separates the people who talk about what they want from the people who actually make it happen. So, make the commitment to show up even when it's hard, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because the act of showing up, day after day, step after step, is what builds greatness. When you look back on your journey, you won't remember the days you felt like giving up. You'll remember the days you showed up anyway. Finding meaning in chaos. Chaos. It's a word we use when life feels out of control, when nothing makes sense, and you're standing in the middle of it all, wondering which way to turn. Maybe your plans fell apart, you've lost someone you couldn't imagine living without, or life didn't just throw you a curveball, it hit you with a storm. It's easy to feel lost in that storm. But here's the thing about chaos. It's not the end of your story. It's uncomfortable, messy, and painful, but it's also fertile ground. When life strips away everything you thought you knew, it creates space to rebuild, to grow, and to find meaning in places you never would have looked before. The first step to finding meaning in chaos is to stop fighting it. Stop trying to force it into order. Stop clinging to what was. Stop resisting the reality of what is. Chaos is a part of life. No matter how carefully you plan, life will throw things at you that you didn't see coming. That's not a failure. That's being human. When you accept the chaos, you free yourself to focus on what matters, how you respond, what you learn, and who you become in the process. Every setback holds a lesson. Maybe it's teaching you resilience. Maybe it's showing you what you truly value. Maybe it's pushing you to grow in ways you wouldn't have chosen on your own. Ask yourself, what is this chaos trying to teach me? What can I learn from this experience? Here's the truth. Chaos doesn't come with meaning built in. Meaning isn't something you find. It's something you create. In the middle of the storm, you get to decide what this moment will mean. You get to decide whether it will break you or build you, whether it will be the chapter where you gave up or the chapter where you rose. Even in the most uncertain times, there are things you can control. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your choices. You can control how you show up. Trust that the struggles you're facing are shaping you into someone stronger and more resilient. The unknown is scary, but it's also full of possibility. Chaos isn't comfortable, but it's where transformation begins. It's where old patterns are broken, where new possibilities emerge, and where you discover what you're truly capable of. Don't let it break you. Look for the lessons. Create your own meaning. You are stronger than the chaos. You are bigger than the storm. And when the dust settles, you'll see this wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something extraordinary. The road to success is always under construction. This life isn't set up to be smooth. It has its ebbs and flows, its mountaintops and its valleys. So stop expecting it to go smoothly, because it won't. I know you don't feel like it. You don't know if it's worth it. You know that if you do it today, you still have to do it tomorrow. It's overwhelming, but every day you do it, you get a little bit closer to the person and the place you want to be. The fact that it's painful is the reason it's working. This is what hard feels like, and it's why most people don't win. So, continuing to push through and seeing that discomfort as a signal, a way marker planted in the ground, is crucial. If it were easy, how would you get anything different than what everyone else has? Do you know what it takes to be a champion? Working hard every single day without the promise that your hard work will actually pay off, with the only guarantee being sweat and exhaustion. But that goal you're chasing doesn't favor you over anyone else. That's why you need to pay attention to the process rather than the product. You can tell yourself enough times that it's possible, and it can be. Imagine if your entire mindset was just, it's possible to get to that next level. It's possible to be great. Even if you have to lie to yourself into believing it, hold on to that positive worldview. You can be fearful, but you can't be a coward. The coward and the hero feel the exact same emotion when confronted with a situation. The difference is how they act in response to that fear. The coward runs. The hero says, "Okay, I see you. I know you're there. Here's how I'm going to handle this. Your value and your potential. The fact that life is short and brutal can either terrify you into hiding, or you can flip that on its head and understand that since you're all in anyway, you might as well take the adventurous risks. When you were born, you were a phenomenon. You are unique. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe and never will again. That is your source of power. To waste that is the worst thing you can do. The power is in finding that uniqueness and using it. So many people die with untapped potential because they think someone else is better than them or that they weren't born with the greatest tools. But you don't need the greatest tools. You need the ability to grind yourself into a fine powder and then find a way to build yourself back up repeatedly. It's possible. If you hide what's inside of you and become cynical and bitter, you will start doing very dark things. Not only will you not add to the world what you could, but you'll start being jealous of people who are competent and work to destroy them. That's the pathway to hell. Success is the ability to go from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm. But that's going to be up to you because no one else will be there to encourage, coach, or push you. You have to do it yourself. People don't burn out because of what they do. They burn out because life makes them forget why they do it. Don't ever allow life to rob you of your passion, your joy, or your peace. Chase your dreams. Chase that thing that keeps you up at night, that bothers you, that you can't stop thinking about. If you're wondering, am I a champion? Let me put it this way. You chose to listen to this rather than music or mindless background noise. You made the choice to pick something that would keep you in the fight. These are the receipts you need to remember because they will remind you of who you truly are, a champion. Get to where you want to be in life, just not in the way you imagined. The path that's paved is far different from the path we pave. Just don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do or achieve. The pain of action versus inaction. Stop tying your value to external achievements. How much money you make, your job title, or the car you drive. Your value must be linked to something greater than material things that can disappear overnight. Instead of looking for validation out there, look internally. Look at your heart and your intentions. Look at how far you've come. Getting your idea of your value from that will free you in so many ways. We believe the biggest obstacle we have to overcome is out there, but many times the call is coming from inside our own heads. We've become our own worst enemy. You have to stay busy. You have to find out who you are, and it will take effort. It's going to be hard sometimes, but you can do it. Every time it gets tough and you don't feel like doing it, remember that there's someone out there in a hospital bed begging for a second chance at life. You have no excuse not to go hard. It's easy to give up. The easiest thing in the world is to say, I'm done. But what's hard is saying, yesterday I worked as hard as I could and nothing happened, but I'm going to do the same thing again today, and I'm going to try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To give 100% and be in the same position, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's true grit. Your current situation is not your final destination. There's more to your life. Everything you're facing is building you for something greater. You're more than your struggles. You're more than your pain. I know you feel alone and isolated, so try to flood your life with appreciation, even for the little things like the breath in your body or your heartbeat. Appreciation is the first step to elevating your life. I'm proud of you for not giving up when it's so easy to. Your work ethic reflects your gratitude, which ultimately leads to your results. The grateful person shows up early and gives full effort. You can tell who is grateful by their work ethic. Those who are great in any profession understand that it starts with the belief that you are capable of going from nothing to everything. If you have a clear vision and are absolutely convinced and have faith in it, then all the work you need to do becomes easier because there's a purpose for it. Haven't you imagined a better life? You were shown that vision because it was meant for you. But if you don't work for it and ask for it, it cannot be given to you because you were created with a power of choice. It's not okay for you to be a weak loser. And the reason it's not okay is because you could be so much more. It's an ethical crime to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, your family, and the world. There are two types of pain: the pain of action and the pain of inaction. The pain of action is blunt and forces you to grow. You voluntarily sign up for it, and because of that, you gain the strength to shoulder it. By embracing pain instead of running from it, you are transformed by it. You become someone you're proud of, which gives the suffering a purpose. No one who has gotten through a tragedy will tell you they didn't need to find deeper meaning in their life. When a tragic event happens, the mind cannot deal with it. So you have to go deeper than the mind. That deeper place is love, faith, hope, meaning, and purpose. That's what you hold on to for dear life. You can just forge ahead. Some days will be harder, some will be easier. If you can move from one day to the next, you get stronger whether you know it or not. And ultimately, what will emerge is a new person. A person who went through the fire and became more powerful in the process.